3A must-see district games, starting in the very first district. 3A D1, Shallowater and Muleshoe. Two teams that know each other very, very, very well. Shallowater knocked out Muleshoe last year in the regional semifinals. Two teams that know each other very well, and it's the kind of thing that Shallowater has in recent years. Shallowater has in recent years kind of had the upper hand. But if you're looking at this year's team, you'd say, all right, I think this may be the year Muleshoe knocks them off. Muleshoe's got the more experience. We've got 11 starters coming back versus 5 for Shallowater. Shallowater's really got to rebuild and figure out exactly what they are from an identity standpoint. And they've got a new coach. So I think that this is maybe the year that Muleshoe gets them. So I'm very interested in District 1, 3A, Division 1, Muleshoe, and Shallowater. Region 2. There was really, for me, only one choice here.
Yeah.
That one choice is Sunnyvale and Grandview. And for 2 reasons. One, these 2 teams are going to be really good.
Yeah.
2, these 2 teams are going to score a buttload of points.
Yeah.
These 2 offenses are going to hum. They both have 7 starters back from offenses that I think were borderline elite last year.
Yeah.
I think
big questions for Grandview losing Zach Smith.
Sure.
But
No, absolutely. But these were both 12-win teams last year.
Yeah.
Okay. They both scored more than 630
back.
points last year in 13 games. That's pretty darn salty.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see Sunnyvale versus Grandview in District 6, 3A Division 1. Moving on down to District 3 or Region 3.
This one.
Hey,
man.
can I interest you in a matchup of 2 state finalists?
Jeez.
How about Cameron and Franklin?
This has got to be the best district game in the whole state.
This is going to be
in 3A.
This is going to be great. This is going to be really, really good. Now, both have big question marks.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Both, in my view, lost the face of the franchise. They lost the face of the franchise. Is that a top of the first inning pitching change?
I guess so.
That's exactly what that is.
It doesn't happen very
Weird.
often.
Anyway,
Right.
This is these guys. Cameron lost Trandon Smith. Okay, they lost their stud horse running back. Okay, Franklin lost Will Phillips.
Yeah.
Their heartbeat. Linebacker and running back. He is their heartbeat. How do they respond to that adversity? And who does it quicker in time to play one another? I think Franklin and Cameron is super intriguing to me. And then down in Division 2, 2 teams that I know you are very high on. Yoakum and Hallettsville, District 14 3A. And this isn't even to mention Edna, who's still in the mix as well. But Yoakum and Hallettsville, I know that you're very high on Yoakum.
I think Yoakum is in a position to start wrecking shop.
Well, and I think that people would look at that and say, oh, they went 6-6 last year, Max. Yeah, well, they got 13 starters back, including 2 of the more dynamic players in all of the state at any level. So
the more twins.
Yeah. I think that Yoakum and Hallettsville should be a lot of fun to watch. Moving down to Division 2, we're going to go back to District 1. District 1, 3A, Division 2. Look, Canadian was, depending on your opinion of depending on your opinion of Katie, boy, Freudian.
Yeah, there you go.
Depending on your opinion of Katie, was either the most dominant team in the state last year or the second most dominant team in the state last year. They were making the leap up, and everyone wants to know, can they survive in 3A? Can they be as good as they were in 3A or in 2A?
Are you particularly worried?
No.
Nah.
But I'll tell you who stands in their way is Childress.
Oh yeah.
Childress is a squad that, again, you would look at them and be like, oh, I don't like their I don't like what they bring to the table as far as what they
the
had
whole
last
crew's
year.
back, baby.
7-4. They were 7-4 last year. They lost in the first round, a heartbreaker to Denver City.
Yeah.
They're back.
Yeah.
They bring back 16 starters.
Yeah.
I think Childress is going to be a team that's going to be wrecking shop
and
this
we
year.
mentioned on the show before, when I talked to Coach Ketting at Canadian earlier this summer, he's like, that's the team. Coach Jason Sims down there, his crew, they're good.
Another game that I think records are deceiving. District 7 3A, Division 2, Hooks and Dangerfield. Okay, so these were 2 teams. Hooks went 9-2. Nice year, nothing special. Dangerfield went 5-7.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I think this is a tradition game here.
Right, the history between these teams. My God.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the 9 millionth time that they've played each other. and they both bring back, I think, very, very dangerous defenses. Very excited to see what Hooks and Dangerfield do when they hook up in District 7, 3A, Division 2. Meanwhile, okay, this was the toughest one to choose, I'll tell you. In Region 3, you had two very awesome games to choose from. You go Newton and Crockett.
Yep.
Not to mention Cork and Camden's lurking in District 10, 3A, Division 2. I went 9, 3A, Division 2, and I went with Waskom and ARP. And I'll tell you why. Because I think ARP has had it up to here with Waskom. Because ARP has, in my opinion, the last 2 years had if they weren't championship caliber, they were right on the doorstep of championship caliber squads. And they've always run into Waskom. It happened last year. And they lost 35-18 in the and so does Waskom take a step back? The 2-time defending champs, without Chan Amy, without a lot of their big time playmakers, can ARP finally get past Waskom? I'm enthralled with this game. If you want to say that Newton and Crockett is maybe two better teams going at it, I'd be willing to hear that argument. I'll listen to that argument. But I think that the storyline here adds to it so much. So there's that. And then meanwhile, down in Region 4, East Bernard and Bowling. Two teams that won 12 games last year. East Bernard made it to the semifinals, and they did so by knocking out Bowling. I think both these teams bring back loaded squads. East Bernard's got some big-time holes to fill defensively. Meanwhile, Bowling brings back 9 starters on what was at times an excellent offense last year. Very, very excited to see East Bernard and Bowling in District 14, 3A, Division 2. Which games did I miss? Let us know on Twitter at DCTF, #DCTF Live.